generation, I was waiting to shine. My father taught me don't be soft, so now I'm taking what's mine. I define myself as ambitious, young, black, and gifted. Master P, my masterpiece, that mean I don't got no limits. Bout it, I doubt it. My homies know you ain't ride it. We break you down like a pound. I got it, don't pound it surround me. I'm corrupted, flow cold and it's rugged, bump it. What is up? I'm ready for war. You got to love it like yeah, and it feel like yeah, all day like yeah, all night like yeah, whole squad like what, and it feel like yeah.
Now we're cooking. It's the coach. This is Madden Football on EA Sports. Coming up, running back Dalvin Cook. He's back and coming off a big game a weekend ago, as it'll be the Indianapolis Colts taking on the Minnesota Vikings. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Indianapolis Colts and the Minnesota Vikings. Both of these teams about to reach the halfway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. They'll be led out by the veteran quarterback out of Michigan State, the former Spartan. It's Kirk Cousins.
He had the numbers of a game last week that if you win, you talk about him being a gritty guy, managing the game, getting it done. But they lost. So obviously 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown pass, that's not going to be good enough. Got to get that changed around.
The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. 4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. And the offensive starters for the Vikings.
And I think we'll see a renewed sense of urgency out of this team this week because they have to make sure they don't waste this homestand. They had a home game last week, lost it. Now they've got the second straight. They've got to take advantage of it, get a win before they head out on the road.
On the ground, it's Cook, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a third down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs, but the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. Cousins now. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. That's sacked by the DN, Danico Autry.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. And here now the punter, Martin, booming this one away. Pulled in at the 24. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Good starting field position for the Colts as they have it 1st and 10. Just shy of midfield at the 49. Here's Lott. Campbell making the catch. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. On first down, Lott. Catch made here by Campbell. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. They'll run it here. This is Marlon Mack. Oh, he's got a little daylight. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Naeem Hines, his first carry. And a pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Vikings slow to get up. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. On second down, here's a run with Mack. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4.
And that's one of the reasons we like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
They'll try and run for this with Mack. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. So instead of giving them another third down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now, that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
So the snap will come from the 3, but remember, they don't need the touchdown. They can get the first down if they get a yard, and the ball gets to the 2. Here's Lott. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Eric Ebron, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point splits the uprights. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym, preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Justin Houston making his presence felt there in the backfield. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility of the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles, usually more of the run-stuffing variety. But the way this game is advanced, you're wanting a little bit of everything out of all of your guys. But let's just go ahead and break it down, make it simple. The guy who's the right defensive end versus a right-handed quarterback, that's the blind side. He's going after the quarterback. He's going to put him on the ground.
And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. The Vikings first down. Diggs able to find his way free and get the catch from Cousins. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Working out of the gun, Cousins. That'll be complete to Cook. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. This unit, they've struggled a little bit against the pass, ranked number 21 in the league.
What they lack in pass defense, they do make up for in run defense. They're a top 10 unit against the people trying to move the ball on the ground. But this is a passing league. So there's the conundrum for them. How do they get better defending the pass?
Yeah, he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out because if you control the lines,
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Darius Leonard make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. A terrific return there. 27 yards all told. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A gain of 11 that time, and a Colts first down. On first down, it's long. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation. And there, the defense won the battle.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Luck now to throw. Got an open man. That's Campbell. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 24-yard line.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
He's got some space. They'll run on first down to Marlon Mack. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. That really sets him back. A loss of 6.
Anthony Barr got a real education at UCLA and playing not just his normal position of stand-up outside linebacker, but down defensive end. So he had to incorporate a variety of moves, take on bigger people. So he learned great leverage while he was there. That really helps him when he's trying to stop people running the ball.
Born in South Bend, Indiana. Thought about going back to go to Notre Dame, but you're right. Great career at UCLA and now a great career in the NFL. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Right there, 54, right there, 54 Mike.
To throw is Locke. Buying time to his left. Decent gain on the scramble of 6, but now it's 4th.
Well, partner, nothing comes open here, so he decides to escape out of there, and he doesn't pick up a first down, but he does gain additional yardage to set up a possible field goal attempt if they decide to go that route.
Maybe a little fortunate there. That was leaking a little, maybe leaking a lot, but he got it.
Yeah, he actually was able to make it work. How about the body language, though, right? As he's watching that ball leak to the right, trying to bring it back in, and had just enough to get it done.
And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility.
The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. Kenny Clark in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Take a seat. You can't stop me.
10-0 the score after one on EA Sports. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. To throw, Cousins. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Cousins to throw it. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 23 yards on the play.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
25, check 25, check 25.
And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. 12 yards there. 1st down, Vikings.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him? Either fellow receivers or offensive linemen. That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The throw over the middle, taken in. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Colts pick it up. And they will finally stop him as he's down to the 40-yard line. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free. Anything you can do to slow them down.
Down on the field, we've got an injured Colt after that last play. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. On 1st and 10, Locke. Throw left side here, complete to Campbell. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
And give him about 3 as he gets it down to the 22-yard line.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Over the middle, hauled in by Campbell. And he picks up the 1st down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15. His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a 1st down.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And there's a
heavy rush, and down he goes. Anthony Barr, make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field, down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
8 yards here, so that gets them back within striking distance. And now it's 3rd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The Colts on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Locke. He completes this one to Mack. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. Give him 8 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Down on the field, we've got an injured Colt after that last play. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. They come out here in the eye. They'll run with Barber. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Peyton Barber, his second touchdown on the season. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage. Now, let's not forget that was all set up by the fourth down conversion earlier in the drive.
Would have been a complete letdown if the drive doesn't culminate this way, wouldn't it? If you're going to go for it on fourth down, your intention is to make sure you get a touchdown out of the drive, and that's exactly what they did. Converted, and then converted a second time for 6 points.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down. No, but let me finish. You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. The last catch did get 3, but they're still left needing 7 yards on third down. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down. So they decline it, as that will bring up fourth.
And I know that yardage and field position are keys to any game played, but you've got to consider downs when you're talking about penalties, and they wisely did not take that one and made it fourth down.
Here's Sam Martin now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Here's Bird to return. 12 yards on the return that time. And possession will switch hands, first and 10. Marlon Mack now heading back out there. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run.
Now a hit and lock. Lost the football. It's out.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though.
And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation.
Oh, and Mack has the ball stripped. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they're going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
He's brought down there by Kenny Moore. You don't see that a ton, do you? The cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball's moved to the middle and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle. Well played.
Looking to throw on second down. Cousins. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Big yardage after the catch. That one winds up going for 36. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. Draw play, Cousins to Cook. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. On second and inches, Cousins. This complete to Jones. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. A 5-yard gain, and now they're set up first and goal. A first down throw for Cousins. And Thielen's got it. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen, his fourth touchdown on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for, and this touchdown will count. Bryant tacks on the extra point, and that'll cut the lead to 17-7. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. And after the touchdown, here's Bryant now to kick it away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Marlon Mack now heading back out there. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had to. And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Paris Campbell with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage.
Well, that is certainly a deflator right there defensively. Their guys just came off of a touchdown drive. They're back in the game, and then bam, they give up a touchdown 1 play later. How about that?
And the momentum, which seemingly had shifted the other direction, thought we might be seeing a comeback. That momentum right back the other way.
Well, that is certainly not complimentary football that we saw right there. The defense is supposed to help their offense, not give up another touchdown.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Adam Thielen and the rest of the Vikings offense, they get set for their next possession. Sitting right around the midpoint of the season, on pace for 1,000 yards. Good year so far, and I'm sure film study being devoted to him a little bit more on the other side.
They have to, because the pace that he's carrying right now, if you're pushing 1,000-yard pace as a receiver, that means he warrants your attention. And right now, precision is going on with their offense. Kind of like that timepiece you wear on your wrist. You know, that good stuff. Got to knock that off somehow. Chip away at that timing. Change things up a little bit and make them go to other things and make them do those things better.
Yeah, try to make him uncomfortable. Not many teams have been able to do that so far this year. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. From the gun, here's Cousins. And he's got his tight end. That's Smith. And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. On second and goal, Cook waiting in the backfield all alone. He'll get it up the middle, and that play goes nowhere. He's met behind the line, and a penalty flag may add insult to injury. That one whistled against a big right tackle.
You'd think being able to fire out and block, it'd be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty, but it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
A crucial penalty there as the hold backs him up for another second and goal. Cousins again. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
All right, Captain. It's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on 3rd and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you?
I think you have to. I think in this situation, you kind of run out of your running plays, fire another one into the end zone.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. How about the defensive stand here from 1st and goal, 3 straight incompletion?
Yeah, I think people are wondering why didn't they try and run it at least once in there. But once the first incompletion happened, it's almost like they were committed to throwing the ball from then on out.
So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
This will be taken in at the 1. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
I'm going to run you.
The final shot before the break. Luck. Looking for Campbell downfield, and that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. Well, why don't we hold off on the halftime update after all? Seems like everyone's ready to go here for the second half in Week 8 in the NFL. This is fielded at the goal line. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.
Let's go!
Out come the Colts. They'll have it first here to start quarter number 3. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Throwing on 2nd down. Luck throwing the out route and complete. It's Campbell. A gain of 11 that time and a Colts first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart.
Good work, boys. Let's go. Let's go. Let's get the ball.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player. You threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Indianapolis.
There we go. That's a touchdown.
Paris Campbell, his second touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, the second half, no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Off the play fake, Cousins.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
They go play action. Cousins. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. First down, here's the run with Cook. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Colts territory. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. And they're going to go with the jet sweep. This is Diggs with it. And, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it is going to be 15 yards.
I can't believe they even let you play.
Cook following the penalty. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he's going to get the first down as they bring him down at the 23. It's a first down following a gain of 3.
I haven't met a football team yet that runs the ball successfully that doesn't talk about having an attitude to be a running football team, right? You got to be able to put your nose in there, smell where the first down sticks are, and get there.
Trying to run inside, but nothing there. It was Justin Houston who got him down. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Cousins throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there, and it's 3rd down. It's been a pretty long drive. This will be play number 9, and they need 10 yards out of it on 3rd. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
This has kind of been the story all night long, hasn't it? An inability to really get much done on 3rd downs, and it's costing them.
And for the 2nd time tonight, his field goal unit comes out here. He hit his first, this one from 40 yards out. The kick by Bryant is good. And the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
This is taken at the 3. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Hey, let's go, Mexico!
On 1st down, they'll start out with Mack. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now Luck. Ebron with it over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 16 yards the pickup there. The Colts have a 1st down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12. Now a play fake, and it's Luck. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Luck gives this one off to Mack. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
So 3rd down now. They need the 27-yard line for a 1st. From the gun, here's Luck. That'll be taken in by Demir Bird. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 24-yard line.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that wasn't the first option.
No, it came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag. Completed it very well.
Here's Luck. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a 1st down again. He's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the 1st.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him? Double and triple and do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
The head coach relied on his eagle eye in the sky to make the right call and was told to challenge it, and it looks like it's paid off.
And from a coach's standpoint, when you throw that flag, it's probably a pretty tense moment. Here it pays off.
Yeah, you have that little bit of indecision. You throw it where you feel like you're right, and then you think, uh-oh, did I get it right? In this case, they can celebrate.
Luck now. A perfect 8 for 8 to start the 2nd half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Here's Mack on the toss. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
I know in every game we do, we talk about momentum. That was a momentum play lost. And now there could be a letdown because they didn't get the interception.
Yeah, you could almost hear the collective gasp on the sideline as he could not come up with that football. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Meanwhile, this one knocked down in the backfield. It's incomplete. Nothing doing there as the 13th play of the drive proves to be unlucky.
You got to give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and get some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
Second down and goal. Luck. And he's got his target. It's caught for a Colts touchdown. Paris Campbell there to make the grab. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself, no reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
A try here for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. That one was an extended drive, 14 plays all told. And the result for the Colts is a touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Kirk Cousins and the Vikings offense back on the field. He's been pretty solid, pretty consistent, just the one touchdown pass, but I think he's managed the game well, no?
I would agree with you, and that's what you're looking for out of your field leader, making sure that you're playing well and not making any big mistakes. Oftentimes, that's how you're judged. How big a mistake and when it occurs. No interception so far. They'll like that.
I just want you to know that you agreeing with me, that's going to get me through this third and fourth quarter. Are you touched? He's patting his heart, boys and girls. He's touched.
Respect.
Kenny Clark, the big D tackle there to make the stop. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Cousins. They'll find Thielen working the middle. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts 37. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 28, and the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give the Colts 13 yards and a first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Throwing is long. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. They're still throwing the football here, and obviously the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
Yeah, I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. The Colts on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Now Luck. Campbell making the catch. And this won't be enough. A good secure tackle, and they stop him a few yards shy at the 46. Now after the punt on that play, we've got a man down on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get them down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done. Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. On 1st and 10, Cousins nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Darius Leonard in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This is 3rd and 16. Now Cook, he's got it off the draw. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. Cousins to throw it. Open man is Thielen is complete and able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Cousins now rebounding nicely after the interception. He's hit 4 straight to start the drive. It's 1st down. Rudolph on the receiving end from Cousins. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the 1st. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still...
There he goes, left side! And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Adam Thielen with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Vikings are able to close the gap just a bit. Here's Bryant for the extra point. And that'll cut the lead down now to 18. So that drive goes 8 plays, and it's polished off by a Viking score. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And this is going to be taken in by the Colts. 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
A good pickup there, 22. What a difference a week makes. 5 interceptions in their last game. Here we are, 4th quarter. He's played mistake-free football.
And I'm sure that we can look back on the past week and say, okay, he spent time in the film room and they worked on his mechanics. Sometimes it's just your team believing in you, your coaching staff believing in you, and you relax and play to your potential. He's doing that in this game.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. A gain of 11 that time, and a Colts 1st down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
On 1st and 10, Locke. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well.
And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Marlon Mack, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage.
And while no one on the offensive line will get the 6 points next to their name, they should be credited with this one. Tremendous blocking to get the runner into the end zone.
Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. And they open the lead up now to 25 points. So that drive, 4 plays. And the end result was a Marlon Mack touchdown run. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from it.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Justin Houston able to record his 5th sack of the season.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Cousins looking for his running back, and he's got it. 23 yards the pickup there.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
12 yards there, 1st down Vikings. Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 46. To throw is Cousins. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. He'll get 15 and a Vikings 1st down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Throwing is Cousins. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking 1st down. They go play action here on 1st down. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen.
And that'll be caught by Diggs for a Minnesota touchdown. Stephon Diggs with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit. Bryant now to tack on the extra point. And that'll cut the lead down now to 18. So an 8-play drive covering 80 yards. And it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. So it would no doubt be a miracle comeback from here, but let's see what they can do starting with the onside kick. And this is going to be taken in by the Colts. And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that. Just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you?
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game against them, but tally that one on the side of the defense.
Do you think maybe, possibly, it could be a little bit of a changer for them? Maybe not a game changer, but a little bit of a momentum one that maybe they can string together some pretty good plays and slow them down.
No gain that time, and it leaves them with 3rd and 11 coming up.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Throwing on 3rd down, Love. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. .46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.